Hello, Budget Kings and Queens. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Budgets with Elma, and today we are going to do my budget cash stuffing. Okay, so we're going to do my budget number one, and then we're going to do some cash stuffing that needs to be done. Okay, in today's video, I will be breaking down my paycheck that I got for the month of March, the first one. I did get paid Kings and Queens Friday last week. Okay, but I wasn't able to do it, of course, because I was taking care of my hubby. But we're going to break down that budget because I need to let you know where the money has gone, what I have taken care of, and what we're going to cash stuff in today's video. Okay. So this will be paycheck number one. All right. And it'll take care of any expenses that I have for the beginning of the month. Okay. Halfway mark, and then I'll get my final paycheck and it'll get taken care of the final expenses towards the end of the month. Okay, so that is what we're going to take care of in today's video. All right, so Kings and Queens, before I go any further, if this is the first time you're seeing or hearing my video, okay, hit the like, share, subscribe, and join the royal family. And if you are a true one, welcome back. All right, welcome to my budget with me. Okay, and we're going to do a little bit of cash stuffing in today's video. All right, we're going to get caught up with everything for the beginning portion of the month. Okay, and we're going to break down those numbers and give you where the money has gone for me and the family of five. Okay, and this is my happy planner where I keep all my budgeting, any dates that I have for my family, anything like that, will be in here. This is a Frankenstein that I did in the beginning of the year. I did share a video how I broke down setting up this beautiful planner, okay, that I put different pages and made it the way I love. I also have my extended budget planner from Beautifully Me and You, where I purchased it from her. I have the digital one where I got it from her Etsy shop, and then my hubby actually got me the physical copy, but the physical copy didn't get here in time, so my husband got me the digital one. Okay. I know, all crazy. But either way, I have it for like a lifetime, right? I can just print whatever pages I need. And so that is what I did when I did my Frankenstein planner. So they are included in here. So that's what sheets we're going to be working on. I'll link everybody that I'm using or anything that I use from any content creators on YouTube. I'll link everybody in the description below so you can get a copy if need be. Okay. So let's jump into the budget, right? This is the first budget of March. Okay. I know we are halfway through March, but I have to break down and show you what I actually done with the money and where did it go towards. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in today's video. And then the second part will be cash stuffing. So I'll move this and then I'll bring it back for us to do that. Okay. And Kings and Queens, let me know, okay, for your pay period, okay, let me know, did you get paid last Friday? You'll put a number one, or did you get paid or will be getting paid this week? You're going to put a number two. I'm curious to know, okay? I am a bi-weekly budgeter, so I budget every 2 weeks, and if I get extra income, then I'll budget at that time. So I do budget by paycheck, okay? So I usually do 2 of them per month, okay? So let's open it up and get to the page we need, okay? So we're not working on January and we're not working on February. We'll go straight into March. And so that is what we're going to be working on. So let me open it up and turn the page so we can get started, okay? All right, so here it is. Again, this sheet and the whole budget planner, I do have it all in my happy planner. Again, it's from Beautifully Me and You, and it is her bi-weekly budget planner, okay, which is the extended planner. Okay, so here's the sheet that we're going to work with, Kings and Queens. I am going to go ahead and decorate it a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and break down that budget and do what we need to do, okay? And let me know, how is your weekend, okay? And this beautiful sticker book that I have, I did get it from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. I like looking in their supply and stationery section and looking at what good things they have, stickers, anything that I can use for my budgeting. And I came across this one and it was too cute to let go. So I am going to be using it to decorate my budget sheet, and then we're going to get started. Okay, we got quite a few things we're going to cover in today's video. So I'm going to try to make it quick and sweet, but make sure I take care of what I need to. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of stickers here and there, and then we're going to go get started. I am going to be on spring break with my family. So I will be batch recording a couple of videos to keep you guys occupied while we are gone having family fun. And I will be making some videos on some vlogging on where we went, what we did, and how we stayed on budget. Okay, or went over budget, right? Keep it real. So I'll be including some pictures, images, and things like that regarding that. Okay, so your girl can't wait. Okay, and it does start on Monday, which is tomorrow. Okay, so we've been wrapping some things up and getting ready just for that. Okay, so I'm just putting again some stickers here and there just to make it a little cute. Okay, and I am feeling this because we are going to be, you know, having some cool drinks and just enjoying ourselves. Me and the kids, we cannot wait. Okay, and so I will be having some videos here for you guys, as I mentioned. Let's see, what other thing can I add? Let me go ahead and add this rainbow. Okay, I was thinking of where I wanted to put it. And let's put it in the center here. Let's see. I don't want to put too much on this side. And I'll go ahead and put it here. Okay, just to make the pages a little cute and colorful. And let's see what else I can add. Okay, and I like the touch of gold as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we're going to get started. Okay. All right, so now that we have touched up the page just a little bit, all right, let's go ahead and get started with the budget, kings and queens. On my channel, I am, as I mentioned, we are a family of 5. I do get paid bi-weekly at my job. And when I get paid, guys, my job does take everything out: taxes, deductibles, health, dental, vision, 401k. And I also take out a little tithe for church. And then whatever I leave in the buffer is what I carry on to do some of my mortgage payment. And my husband puts his half and we take care of the mortgage. So every time when we're doing a budget, I will include, if it's the beginning of the month, my mortgage being taken care of, but I will not include the amount. And we save the paycheck previous a little bit at a time, which is the split method for the mortgage. And I'll show you what I mean. So for today's budget, I typically do $1,600 to pull out. And I mean, that's what I use to budget. I don't take it out of the bank. But for this pay period, guys, I only had a income. Okay, again, after all my deduction that I just mentioned from work, okay, we are going to budget a total of $1,563 for the budget. Okay, and this is again the first paycheck of March to take care of the expenses. Okay, now there's some expenses I don't include on here because my husband takes care of them, but anything that I do cover, I do include it in my budget, okay? And you'll see it here on my video. And there's some you'll never see and be like, wait a minute, I never see her include that. And I know somebody has to have that expense. But if you don't see it in my budget, it means my hubby covers it, okay? But as for the mortgage, okay, anything with the house, me and my husband do split that in half, okay? Just a FYI. So the first thing I'm going to put, as always, at the beginning of the month is my mortgage. Me and my husband have up to the 15th, and on the 16th, you get a late fee for your mortgage, okay? So we have up to that time frame, but we like to take care of it the first week in the month of the current month that we're in, okay? Which means we saved in each paycheck, which I get only 2 paychecks for myself, I minus half and half and put it on the side, and my husband put what he puts, and we cover the mortgage, okay? So the mortgage, I just want to let you know it's already paid, but I want to include it here to let you know we are paying the mortgage and it's current, okay? Now in the 1,563 cents, excuse me, 1,563. Okay, we don't put the cents remain in the bank. All right, we like to, it does not include the mortgage amount because again, we cover it from the month previous. Okay, I just want to make that real clear. Okay, and I try to do that whenever I have a big amount to pay. I like to break it down as much as I can. Okay, so we're going to cover the mortgage. Okay, we're going to cover the HOA. Okay, and the HOA fee, we do split that because it's a little high. Okay, and typically I like to go ahead and split that, and that amount will be 100. The next thing I have, kings and queens, is my Canva. Okay, and again, I like to abbreviate as well if I can, and I also like to round up the numbers. Okay, um, to keep the math simple, and I either pay that extra amount on certain bills, and then it'll create a little buffer as I go month to month. Okay, so the Canva, I rounded it to 13. Okay, and then the next thing I have, guys, is the electric. Okay, and the electric is 231. Now it's 230 with change behind, so I rounded it to this amount. Okay, the next thing I have is the trash and water, which is one, which is our utility. Okay, and that will be for a total of $100. Again, it was in the $97 or $98. I rounded it up to 100, and I did pay $100 to create that little buffer. Okay, it ain't much, but it'll remain in there. Okay, and so whenever we have any higher months, it'll already be in there, creating a buffer little by little. Okay, but in the actual bill account. The next thing I have is my subscriptions. Okay, and I'm going to abbreviate that and put subscriptions because it's more than one. This includes any subscriptions my kids have for any of the televisions that we use, any of our subscriptions. Okay, so this one, totaling all the subscriptions we have, is $76, kings and queens. So once I add this in, okay, so it's $100, 13, 231, $100, 76, that equals 520. Okay, and that is for our bill that we're taking care of, the bills. Okay, fixed expenses. All right, the non-negotiables. You got to take care of it or you're out of luck. Okay, the next thing I want to take care of, which is, I'll just put a number one, okay, is, all right, we have the following. Number two, this section here, okay, and this one here is my everyday wallet, okay, my cash envelopes that are in here, okay, for my variable expenses, kings and queens. The categories that I will be focusing on is, okay, gas, and I am budgeting 50, okay, personal, I'm budgeting 20, groceries, I'm budgeting 250, and I spoke to you guys about that in previous videos. I used to do 200, and now I put it 250 because, you know, it's just so expensive out there, especially with them eggs, okay? Anyway, for this amount, I always give, because I'm teaching my kids about budgeting, I like to give my son $50 when we go grocery shopping, and I let him buy whatever he wants within his budget. And then I give my youngest daughter 25, not in her hand, but she shops for 25, and she also does a little budget. And then the remainder, I buy groceries for the whole house. And this is what I budget. Now, if we need to purchase more than this, my husband pays the difference, or he buys groceries. I just give him a list, or I use his card. But in my regular every 2-week budget, I always take $250 for groceries for the family. Okay, just the FYI for that one. So I made this a little bit more. The next one is eating out. Okay, and then I had budgeted $30 for this category, okay, because I was cutting back on buying food. But if I need to, I just made sure that I had something. If I needed coffee or anything extra, I have that there. And then the categories that I will not be cash stuffing, but I typically would have it, and I just want to let you know, is for my kids. I usually put money on the side for them, but this time around I'm doing 0. And then for toiletries, okay, / home, for any cleaning products or anything for the house, I'm not doing any expenses. Okay, so when I add all of this up, kings and queens, $50, okay, 20, 250, 30, okay, gives me 300, and I hope you can see that. Okay, 350. Okay, and there you have it. Let's move on to the following. Now, in this budget sheet, although I love it, I don't cash stuff too many sinking funds. What I do is I do minis or tiny challenges, and at the end of the month, I calculate what I saved and then I reallocate them into the needed sinking funds or long term challenges. So, this section, I don't typically cash stuff that often. And then for the saving challenges, I do a lot of saving challenges. So, what I have done, I did the vice versa. Okay. So, I like to do, like for the sinking fund, if I have any sinking fund or extra savings that I need to do, I will do number one, my buffer. Okay, this is going to be the way to help me close out my account towards the end. And then the other thing that I'm working on is two things. The first thing I'm doing is my, for this section here, I am doing my vehicle registration because my birthday is in April. And so I need to save for that. Even though it's in April, I have to save in the paycheck number 1 and paycheck number 2 to be ready to make that payment fully in April. Okay. And so because of that, I need to save $37. Okay. So I'm going to put V. Okay. And then I'm going to put renewal. Okay, kings and queens. And the amount is $37. So I'm going to do $37 in this paycheck, $37 in the last paycheck to save the amount I need to do my renewal. Okay, and that is every birthday anniversary. Okay, so let me know in the state that you live in, kings and queens, what is your average, okay, vehicle registration renewal? Okay, the one you change on your B day. You can do it either 1 year or you can do it every 2 years. Okay. So let me know what's yours. And this is the total for to renew it. Okay. So that is the amount. So this one here, I am not going to cash stuff for it, kings and queens, but I just want to let you know that I'm doing it. And I currently have this one in my sinking fund. Okay. So I'm going to put SF for sinking fund. Even though I have the sinking fund category here, I'm going to put the challenges that I'm doing on the top for now. Okay, and make this as if it was my sinking fund category. The next thing I'm working on, kings and queens, in this category, which is another sinking fund that I'm doing for 2025, is I want to do one extra principal payment towards my mortgage, which is the actual mortgage payment. And I'm going to do that every year to cut on the years it takes me to pay my mortgage. Okay. And so what I did was I took what my average mortgage payment is, and then I divided it into 12 months. And that lets me know how much I need to put in my account so that by the end of the year, I'll be able to make one principal payment. My husband is also saving on his own, and so am I. So my portion, to achieve that is every 2 weeks, I need to save a total of $43. Again, keep in mind, my husband is also saving. I'm saving so we can reach that one goal we have as saving for our one extra mortgage payment. Okay. So that amount, which is extra, let me write it down, extra mortgage, I'm going to abbreviate payment, PMT. All right. And I should be able to save 43 every paycheck. Okay. And that is something I'm doing auto draft from my, what do you call that? The buckets that I have in my SoFi account, which is why I love SoFi. You'll have one main checking, and your, what is it? Saving account, and then you can create buckets for the Pacific sinking funds that you cash stuff for. You can also create it online. Okay. And the APR is awesome. And so one of the APRs that, I love with them is definitely helping me to save more money. And so one of the buckets I added this year is extra principal payment. And so I am doing an auto draft of $43 every pay period to have that in there. So at the end of the year, I can do that. And my husband's adding his, so we can do that. Okay. So I just say all of that to say that's a sinking fund. Okay. And that's going to be SF. Okay. And again, these two are auto drafted, okay, like pushed into, transferred into those buckets. Okay, first hits my checking and then goes vice versa. Okay, so now for the saving challenges that we are going to focus on. Okay, so I just put a number 3 because we worked on this for a little bit. Keep in mind keeping this as your sinking fund. Okay, and for sinking funds, because I do not that many sinking funds unless it's something coming up, the key saving challenges, and I'll put SC, saving challenges, just to let you know what I'm putting in here. I am doing the March Madness. And if you've been watching any of my videos, you know that. And that is from Lisa Grateful Me, and I am doing that series on my channel, and I had budgeted $100 for that specifically, okay, for any videos that I do in that series, okay? I put that as a budgeted amount. The next thing I did is for my faith and finance, okay, saving challenges that I do, okay, and I abbreviated that. I budgeted $30, okay. The next thing I have is saving with Budget Besties, okay, for my collab, okay, and like I said, Budget Besties, and I abbreviate this, okay, just to let me know that it's saving for Budget Besties. So it's Budget Besties, okay, and I just did a little thing here, BFF, okay. Actually, it's supposed to be BFF there, but so Budget Besties, okay. All right, so with this one here, okay, I budgeted $40 to do my collab or any budget bestie challenges that I'm doing. Okay, for any games, whether that's through my collab that have any games they created or games that I'm doing in general, I budgeted $30. Okay, and then the challenges that I do bi-weekly, okay, which means every time I get paid, I focus on these challenges and I only do them when I get paid. All right, the first one is March group play. Okay, and I have budgeted $10 for that. March mood challenge, and I'm doing the shorthand, written it. Okay, $32 budgeting for that. The next one I'm doing is March group play, another one, and I'm going to put G. Okay, I am budgeting $10. The next one I'm doing is March, okay, challenge, and this one is from Chris. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. I'm budgeting $22, excuse me, and then Save with Judy. I believe I have one I'm doing with Save with Judy, and I'll show you which challenge it is, and it will be for $26. So when I add all of these kings and queens, $100, 30, 40, 30, 10, 32, 10, 22, 26. It gives me a total of $300, okay? So there you have it, okay? And then for debt or any extra expenses, I am putting a total of $50 in my toll, then my typical 20, because I will be doing a lot of driving during spring break. So I want to make sure I have money on my Sun Pass, all right, when we have to take those tolls, okay? So here we go. This is my budget here, kings and queens. I am going to minus from my original income, and then we're going to zero out the account, okay? So my income that I'm working with is $1,563. Oopsie. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to minus my fixed amount of my fixed bills. Okay, that gives me $1,000, and I'll write it here, $1,043. Okay, when I minus my cash envelopes, kings and queens, of $350, that gives me $693. Okay. When I minus my sinking fund category, which is my saving challenge, like I told you, I like to add my saving challenges up here if I can. I'm going to minus the 300. Okay, that gives me $393 as remaining. Then I'm going to go ahead and minus this amount here. And again, these are auto transferred into my sinking fund categories of vehicle renewal. And we're going to minus 37. Okay, that gives me 356. We're going to minus 43. Okay. That gives me 313. Okay, and we haven't done anything with the buffer yet. And we're going to minus here any debt or extra fees. Okay, which is extra expenses. So we're going to minus the 50 for the toll. That leaves me with 200 and, let me write it here, 263, okay? So right here, kings and queens, it let me know that my buffer is this amount here because that is all that we have left. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to write that in. My buffer amount is 263, okay? And that is how I'm going to zero out my account because that is all the money I have left over. And that's going to stay in my bill account. So that means one might get paid again. I will then add the additional amount, pull it out for my mortgage and put this to the side. Okay. And then whatever buffer I have for paycheck number 2, I will again add this and that. And then from there, my husband will put his portion and we'll take care of the mortgage to come. So here's what I have left after all of these, okay? So I'm now going to minus that amount, my buffer, because it has a job now, right? And it has amount, and that zero outs my account, okay? So there you have it. And let me go ahead and write this one in. And when I brought this one down, okay, that's 50. And then again, you already know how we came to get this number. All right, so our budget is done. All right, so what I'm going to do before I move this, what we're going to cash stuff, kings and queens, in today's video, we're going to do all my bi-weekly challenges, okay? Which means we're going to do this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and the ones above, the March Madness series, I've already been using this amount to do my videos that you've been seeing on my channel. So I just want to show you it's in the budget. My faith and finance video, I have not done it yet. So I will be doing $30 in a future video. So you'll see that soon. My collab budget bestie, I've already done this video. And for games, I haven't done that video. So you'll be seeing this in a upcoming video, okay? So I just want to show you where the money will be going. So we will be cash stuffing, but because I said I got paid Friday, okay, and again, I didn't have time to do what I need to do, not the Friday that came, the Friday previous when my husband got out of the hospital. So that week was a little hectic and a little crazy. So I didn't pull out any of the money except what I needed for my cash stuffing of my challenges, and anything for my cash envelopes, I left it on my card. So we will not be cash stuffing the cash envelope category because this remained in the bank and I just used my card, okay? Up to this point. And what we're going to do is this section here. So let me show you those challenges. And that means for today's video, we will only be cash stuffing. When I add all of this, kings and queens, we'll have one for 10, one for 32, one for 10, one for 22, and one for 26, which means we'll be cash stuffing $100 in today's video. So I'm going to go ahead and move this, and we're going to get started with the cash stuffing portion, okay? And that means we won't be cash stuffing this as well, okay? But I just wanted to put it here just to let you know we're taking care of cash stuffing my paycheck number 1. And this beautiful money bag has been made by Videz Budget. I did purchase this from her Etsy shop, and we'll be using it in today's video for my cash stuffing. This is my cash breakdown of what we will be cash stuffing in today's video. Let me go ahead and grab the challenges and update you on what we need to, and the video will be a wrap, okay? So let me grab the challenges, and this is where I keep in my Happy Planner notebook all the challenges that I'm doing for the year, okay, or any ones that I'm doing bi-weekly on the first tab. The second one is the long-term ones, and the one in the back is the 12 months one, okay? So today we're going to go ahead and do all the cash stuffing for my bi-weekly challenges. As you guys may know, if you're returning, I'm already part of a collab that's being done by SNC Budget and Creation, by I Am Cassie J Budget and Vlog, and Celenthia's Budget. And there are 20 of us that are doing the collab, okay? But the challenges have been created by the 2 queens I mentioned before. And these are also the queens that are participating in the collab. We all support each other by watching each other's videos. And so this template here has been made by Jeanette's Journey. Okay, and this is the list of everyone that's participating. As I mentioned in the collab, we watch each other videos